Hello and welcome to Coronacrisis. My name's David Haythornthwaite and I'm the chairman of AFC Fylde, and over the next few weeks and months I'm hopefully going to take you through what goes on behind the scenes of a non-league football team at times like this. We're going to discuss all the issues regarding behind the scenes, the players, off-field staff, all the things that contribute to the running of the club, and how we're dealing with the issues that are being thrown at us on a daily and weekly basis, so that it gives you a really good insight to the club and the running of clubs in general. So I look forward to you joining me on this journey.
David, thank you once again for joining us as we look behind the scenes at AFC Fylde. This will be episode 33 of an ongoing series.
It's a box set now.
And we'll have a couple more episodes, and then there'll be a bit of a break. But we'll talk more about that later, as I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
Can we start by getting a bit of an update on what is happening at the club at the minute?
Yeah. The main reason there's going to be a break, Adam, is that you're probably aware we can all finally get out of the country and go on holiday, and we've been anticipating that for some time. Fortunate to have a boat I can go to out in Mallorca, so in one of my favourite places. So my wife and kids are on a flight tomorrow night at 5 o'clock from Liverpool, Ryanair, and so I'm really looking forward to that, and I certainly don't expect you to fly out there for the next 3 weeks, but hopefully there'll be quite a lot of things happening, and I think people have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it, so no doubt when I get back I'll give everyone an update, and we'll try and keep this going for us as long as we think it's necessary. I suppose the big news really that I wanted to share with fans regarding our manager Jim Bentley, and before everyone's sitting there thinking, "Ooh, is he sacked or has he taken the Barrow job?" I can assure it's neither of those. Jim has in his family a history, Adam, as in fact I have myself, a history of heart disease, shall we say, and I think his father, who was a footballer himself, had a heart attack, I think, fairly young in his life. So when it's in your family now, there's so many amazing things you can go and do to check and have checkups to see what condition your heart's in, things that didn't exist years ago, and consequently why so many people died. And Jim had been running again. Now I've got a similar story I'll tell you in a minute, but they'd been out running, got a little bit of a pain in his chest. It's probably 3 or 4 months ago, this, and because of the fact he'd got this previous history, maybe was more conscious than anyone, been to his doctor, and his doctor had sent him to a specialist and analysed it. And basically he was advised to have a couple of stents put in, and I told Jim at the time, I said, "Well, look, Jim, there's nothing to worry about. I've got 3 myself, and I had those put in probably 6-7 years ago. Exact same experience, as a runner. Used to run maybe 15-20 miles a week. And all of a sudden one night I'm out running and just got that pain, and you just knew it wasn't right." And I went through the same things that Jim probably went through, and was advised that probably stents were best for me. Anybody who's been through that knows the sort of procedure is that you go in to have an angiogram, and that's basically when they run a liquid through your body, which allows them to therefore see. I went into Blackpool Vic, I don't know where Jim was, but you're lying on the bed and you can watch it all, and there's a huge wall of screens which the doctor can look at and see everything. And in my case, I was really, really fortunate because he looked at, he said, yeah, you definitely need a stent. Do you want me to put them in now? And I said, oh, can you do it now? And he said, yeah, I can do it now. Ironically, my doctor, my heart specialist, is called Dr. Good. I mean, what a name for a doctor. With an E on the end, I suppose. And he's the top guy at Blackpool Vic, big West Ham United fan, so we always end up talking about West Ham and moaning about it. But a fantastic surgeon, and he did it there and then, 45 minutes, and 2 days later I'm out normal. So I could have had a heart bypass, and he said, it's up to you, but he felt at the time, I was probably, 60, 61, he said, you're probably too young for that, you don't need to have that yet, stents are fine. So, and touch wood, it's been fine so far. So Jim's gone in for the same operation and gone through having this operation, having the angiogram. But when the doctors sort of seen the angiogram, what he said to Jim is, look, I think the situation's a lot worse than I thought, and probably a stent's not going to do it. Now, in your heart, you've got various sort of parts that, arteries that come out at various angles. So I think you've got 4 or 5 different, shall we say, exits and entries to the heart. And it's not always all of that gets clogged up. I mean, if everything's clogged up, you're dead. Certain parts. So part of it was, I think, pretty badly clogged up. So they've advised that he has a heart bypass. So he was informed of that on, where are we, Tuesday, called me and Jonty straight away to let us know. Ironically, he sent me a text to tell me this, and I sent him a text back, and I thought for a minute, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that, but I sent him a text back to say, well, that rules you out the Barrow job then, which, of course, with Ian Evatt leaving Barrow to go to Bolton, I think that deal's about done, is it? I think it's pretty much done. It was then sort of being flying around, as these things do, on the social media, that Jim Bentley was a hot favourite to go up there. So we had a bit of a laugh about that. I'm not sure maybe the frame of mind he was in, he maybe took it the right way, but anyway, if you didn't, Jim, sorry. No, Jim's got to have this bypass, and I said to him, though, in the same text that, the great thing about all these things is they're fixable. The great thing is that they caught it very early on, and he's a young guy, he's a fit guy, and although many years ago a heart bypass was touch and go if you ever made it, now it's like it's like going to have your tooth out. It's really, really routine, but obviously means he's going to be out. It's not quite the same as stents. I was literally, after I'd had stents, 2 days, I'm just back to normal, back to work. You're not supposed to be, but I was. It's just my mentality, and couldn't lie in bed for 3 or 4 weeks. Jim's probably going to take a little bit longer. So it's not come at the worst time. You can't choose when these things come, can you, Adam? When they come, they come. And the number one thing in your life, above anything, is your health. Football's not important. Football, seriously, is not important. It's the same thing I've said about coronavirus. Football's not important when it comes to things like that. So the first thing we obviously wanted to do was to assure Jim, of our support, and that, look, he's got to get this done. Don't worry about the football side of it. We'll take care of that. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. And the main thing is that, he gets well. At the moment, what we don't know, and I asked him, had he got a date, for hospital, and he said no, but obviously, by definition, he's a high priority now, because obviously they must consider it quite serious. We've still got this kind of, obviously, a COVID effect, shall we say, so it's not easy to get into hospitals, though I did read yesterday that they're going to now start using all the Nightingale hospitals, I think, for cancer, to try and move things along, cancer treatment, and that sort of frees up other areas. So I'm sure Jim will be in pretty quickly, and and get himself sorted out. So I'm sure that you know, everyone associated with AFC Fylde, everyone associated, you know, with Morecambe, where he spent most of his life, and football fans in general would want to send you know, Jim our best wishes, and the main thing I would say to him is you know, don't worry. You know, these surgeons are amazing, and the technology is amazing these days. So I'm sure he'll come out of it a better and fitter man.
Thanks for updating us on that. I mean, we all send our best wishes.
Yeah, and it is a shock when those things happen. But as I say, you can come out of it fitter and healthier, and the main thing, they got it very, very early. So that's a good thing.